You want to know how to essentially steal $16 million over the course of 16 years by simply living out your dream? Oh, and you, nor anyone else, has any idea just how bad you're fleecing everyone.
Yes!
Well, let me introduce you to shortstop Chris Gomez, the man who pulled off the ultimate fleece job, and maybe one of my personal heroes. In the history of Major League Baseball, there is not a player who played longer while not being actually good at baseball. Seriously. As a shortstop, simply put, you hit, you field, and you run the bases, right? Well, lucky for us, Baseball Reference has stats that show us just how valuable a player is compared to the league average during their careers for all three. Our bat, our field or defensive runs saved, and our baser are each the number of runs better or worse than the average the player was from batting, fielding, and all base running events respectively, with 0 being league average. Again, lucky for us. But for Chris Gomez, he probably won't think so. In the entire history of baseball, and I mean the entire history of Major League Baseball, not one person played longer while actually not being above average at hitting, fielding, or base running than Chris Gomez. From 1993 through 2008, Gomez had 5,168 plate appearances. In that time, he was worth negative 107 runs from batting, negative 13 runs from base running, and negative 113 runs from fielding. It gets better. From a single season perspective, he only had 2 seasons of his 16 with a RBAT above 0, 1 season with an RBaser above 0, and not a single season with at least 1 defensive run saved. Not even 1. And if you're not as familiar with RBAT, Chris Gomez is also the proud owner of the moniker as the only player in baseball history with at least 5,000 plate appearances to have a career-adjusted OPS plus less than 100, while also posting less than negative 100 runs from fielding. Oh, he also has the lowest B-WAR for any player with at least 5,000 plate appearances. Yet, according to Baseball Reference, he made over $16 million in his career. So how'd he do it? How'd Chris Gomez fleece 8 teams to the tune of $16+ million over 16 years? Well, just by playing baseball at the right time. Welcome to Good Vibes Baseball. Please be sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button. Helps me out a ton, and I do appreciate each and every one of you legends. Now let's get into the good vibes, shall we? Originally drafted in the 3rd round of the 1992 MLB draft by the Tigers out of Long Beach State, go Dirtbags, on the face of it, Chris Gomez had a long yet unassuming career. In those 5,000 plus plate appearances, Gomez hit .262 with 60 career home runs, 35 career steals, with a career on-base percentage of .325, and it all started with the Tigers. He made it to the bigs in just over a year and was 4th in Rookie of the Year voting in 1994 after his first full season with the Tigers. Fun fact, Manny Ramirez finished 2nd that year. Gomez also raked in 1995, ranking 4th on that Tigers team in RBIs, hits, and doubles. After being included in a trade for catching legend Brad Ausmus, he was even the starting shortstop for the San Diego Padres in both 1997 and 1998, including the 1998 World Series, where he went 4 for 11 with a triple in the series loss to the Yankees. In all, Chris Gomez spent 5+ seasons with the Pods before being released. He then bounced around the league for the next 7 seasons, just doing more of the same from 2001 until his retirement in 2008. And just like that, 16 years and a little over $16 million later, Chris Gomez was no longer a major leaguer, finishing with that aforementioned negative 1.4 career B-WAR. But you don't make it 16 years in the league if you're bad at baseball, right? Well, it's complicated. And don't get this twisted. You want to talk about a good vibe? I'd love to be able to make millions doing what I love for 16 years. Chris Gomez is a certified legend. But compared to those he played with, was he good at baseball? You tell me. Throughout the years, we've seen players who maybe can't hit, but are elite defensively. Or vice versa. Heck, Austin Hedges has been a major league catcher for 11 years and counting, with a career OPS plus of 52. Or what about Dan Vogelback? Guy wasn't known for playing D, but boy, could he hit dingers. So teams kept giving him a shot for 9 years. There's others too. Let me know your favorite. But that's not Chris Gomez. By the analytics, we've already seen that Gomez didn't bring a positive value in any of the three major facets of his game. He was worse than the league average in hitting, fielding, and base running, and outside of his time in Tampa, consistently so. But that's the key. By the analytics. Bill James started the Sabermetrics revolution back in the late 70s and into the 80s, but the Moneyball revolution of the early 2000s is what really opened the baseball world's eyes to analytics and their value within the sport. Speaking of which, be sure to check out my video on what Moneyball left out. I still can't believe they did that. But remind me when Chris Gomez played again? Oh yeah, 1993 through 2008. Moneyball didn't even come out until 2011, or 3 years after Gomez retired, and this is why Chris Gomez was able to essentially fleece 8 MLB teams over the course of 16 years. They didn't know any better. Analytics in baseball were still in their infancy when Gomez was playing. His career fielding percentage of .976 is actually right in line with the league average for when he played. And I already mentioned his initial hitting surge with the Tigers and the career batting average and on-base percentage. But did you realize he also hit over 300 in his 217 career games with the Orioles from 2004 to 2007? Based on the metrics available at the time, combined with what folks saw with their old peepers, Chris Gomez was not a bad baseball player. He was 6'1" and could run a little bit. He was a reliable shortstop who could get on base and didn't make many errors. He earned his spot on every team and earned every dollar along the way. But the analytics don't lie. Chris Gomez was actually a below-average hitter, fielder, and base runner every single year he played. If he's drafted and comes up in 2025, he might not even make it to the bigs. Imagine what his baseball savant page would look like. Yet, he did do it. And then he stayed for 16 years, while making on average $1 million a year and even starting at shortstop in the 1998 World Series. So no, he didn't literally steal $16 million. But by the analytics, MLB teams, well, they sure didn't get their money's worth. He's Chris Gomez, a certified legend, yet someone who probably wouldn't even make it to the bigs today. He's the man who fleeced Major League Baseball to the tune of over $16 million over the course of 16 years and did not do a single thing wrong. It was all thanks to some great timing. That's gonna do it for today, baseball fans. Thanks so much for watching. Do you think Chris Gomez would make it today? Let me know down below, and please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And please, be sure to hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed yourself. I know I did. But until next time, baseball fans, cheers!